Hello everyone, welcome back to Naveen Codes. So welcome to the eighth tutorial in our Spring MVC tutorial series. So in the previous video, we saw how to use the request param annotation and capture the data from the front end. Okay. So in this video, we are going to look at how to use the model attribute annotation. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to create another option called sign up. So yeah, of course, like when you have a login option, you will have a sign up option too, right? So let's go ahead and create the sign up button here. So before that, let's just fix this alignment issue. Let's go to the HTML. So okay, so I have forgot to use the table data tag. Okay, let's see whether it's fixed or not. Cool, so it's fixed. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create another button, okay, called sign up. So for that, just don't create the button just below the submit button. Okay, you can add another td, and then you can put the button here. Okay, this is also doable, but one thing is that you are putting this button inside this form, but HTML forms will always have one action. So what happens here is that when you click on sign up, then also it gets redirected to login, irrespective of what action you're defining here. Let's define some action window dot location. So this window dot location tells the button where to redirect to when you click on it. Let's give a URL here. Okay, so we are telling the button to redirect to this sign up when we click on it. Let's see what happens. If you see, even though you click on the button, it's redirecting to the login. This is because you have defined a form action here. So whatever submit action you are doing inside this form, it will always do whatever is defined within this action attribute. So what we are going to do is we are going to put this button outside this HTML form. Okay, let's put it here. So for alignment purpose, let's close this here. Give Control Shift F. This will auto format your code. Let's go and see whether it's working or not, right? Okay, now we are seeing that redirecting to sign up, but the context path has been mixed. So sometimes this happens. What you have to do is you have to manually define the application context path here, like this. Just do what I'm doing. Put a dollar curly braces. Type page context dot request dot context path. Just save this, go back to the server. If you see, the context path has been added. So now we have the redirection logic written. Let's go ahead and create the controllers for this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new controller called registration controller. So let's create a new class. Name this class as registration controller. Okay, don't miss the controller notation. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the request mapping at the class level. Okay, because this controller is going to handle only one URL, which is the slash sign up. Only the method is going to vary, so we can have it at the class level, the imports. Okay, before going and defining the rest of the business logic, we need a model class. Okay, since we are going to use model attribute, as I said in the previous video, model attribute is going to get your data and bind it to the model class. So first let's create a model class. Okay, let's create a new package, con dot spring mvc dot application dot model. So inside this, let's go ahead and create a class. Okay, so let's create a class called employee. Okay, so our application is will like enable, let's say like we run a factory. Factory employees are going to use this application to create their account. Okay, so let's create this employee model. This class is going to be a pojo class. So pojo class in the sense, it is going to it is just going to like contain the data. That is what a pojo class is, right? You're just going to create the attributes, create the getters and setters, and there will be no business logic written inside it, right? That is what a pojo class is. So let's define the attributes. We are going to have a id, and our employee is going to have first name. Just like follow the convention, use camel faces. Is going to have a last name, and he is going to have a email id. Done. Now let's create the getters and setters for this. Source, generate getters and setters, select all, give, generate. Okay, so now we are done. We have created the model class. Now let's go ahead and create the controller. Let's go ahead and create the methods. So inside this method, I'm going to create two. Inside this class, I'm going to create two methods, one for get and one for post. So let's first like write the get method. Method is equal to request method dot get. Public, let's like name our method as display sign up form. Okay, this is going to return the sign up JSP. That's it. Let's do the imports. So it's going to be request mapping. Let's import to the imports. Save. Done. Right. Before like rewriting the post method, let us create the sign up JSP. Sign up. So like the login, like we did in the login.jsp, here also we are going to use table for formatting. Inside this table, let's write the HTML form. Inside this form, this time you have to add one more attribute called model attribute. This model attribute will have a name. Action is equal to slash sign up, and method is equal to post. Right? Done. So now let's create the input fields. Table body, table row, table data. So here it's going to be employee ID, right? And then the next table data, I'm going to put the input tag. This can be input type should be number, because like employee ID will be of type long, right? And one more thing you have to take care here is this: you have to take care of this name attribute. So whatever name you are going to give to this input attribute, that name should match the attribute name in this model class. So in this model class we have named the id attribute as id. So the same name you have to give here also. Otherwise the model attribute will not be correctly set. The model attribute will not correctly set the data to your model class. Okay, so keep this in mind. Now let's go and create the rest of the fields. First name, right? Input type is equal to text. Name is equal to first name. Correct, right? So let's copy paste this and create the rest of the attributes. This is going to be last name. Here also you have to change the name, right? Last name. And this is going to be email. Put here we have a separate input type for emails, right? Called email type. There is separate type of input which comes with HTML for emails specifically called email. Use that. The name should be email ID. Okay, so just keep this in mind. The name attribute, whatever you are going to give inside the name, whatever value you are going to define for this name attribute, that value should match the model class attribute name. Okay, id first name last name email id first name last name email id. Keep this in mind, otherwise your model attribute will not work. Let's go ahead and create the submit. Input type is equal to submit, value is equal to sign up. Cool, so we're done. Let's go back to the controller. Now let's create the post method. Method is equal to request method dot post public string. Let's name the method as process sign up. Okay, this returns null as usual. What we are going to do is we are going to define the model attribute annotation. Inside the curly braces give the model attribute identifier. Okay, selector, or another word selector, sorry, it should be employee. So this should match the value with whatever value you have given here. It should be employee. Okay, here also it's employee, and you have to declare a variable, right? But the variable should be the model class which you have created, right? You have created the model class to hold the data, so your model attribute is going to automatically bind the data inside this model class which you have created. Okay, just do the imports. And now we are going to test our model attribute annotation. to a sysout, we are going to print that the attributes have been correctly set. We should be getting the values printed here, right? Let me copy paste. So call the getters, the attributes have been correctly set. You should be seeing the values getting printed. Okay, we are done. Okay, so now just go ahead and test the application. Click on sign up. Cool, so we are now seeing the sign up form. Let's give some values. Okay, I've given the values, giving submit. Oops, what happened? We have created, what is the error showing? Okay, so we again, once again, we forgot to add the context path. Let's go ahead and add. Here we have to add the context path because sometimes the server goes crazy, doesn't like sense the context path, right? Page context dot request dot context paths. Okay, so now let's restart the server, test again. Go back, refresh. Let's give some values. Okay, cool. We are able to see the output in our console. So that means our model attribute is working fine. It is like fetching whatever values we are entering here in this form and setting it to the model class, right? So this video, I hope you have like understood what a model is. Model is usually a pojo class which we like create to hold the data, okay? And we like how we like populate the model class. We will like populate the model class with data using the model attribute annotation. Okay, so cool. So in the next video we will like go ahead and further add some more features to our website. Okay, let me see you in the next video. Stay tuned.